Get ready to dive into the comic book realm, where heroes rise and villains take the helm. We're here to dissect the stories and the art. Our source material, we tear the panels apart.
Okay, well then
Let's
we get into
the fun stuff.
Mark Radlich wants to talk about the 2015 CM Punk Cullen Bunn written Drax series. This was our art was Scott Hepburn on art, Matt Milla on colors, and VC's Clayton Cowles on letters here. So our full arc, just to give everybody, we've already talked about, I didn't really do a character dissection here, but we get some fun ones here. We're only going to talk about issues 1 through 5 first. This tells a compact, character-driven cosmic adventure that strips Drax down to his core motivations while giving him unexpected emotional growth. The arc begins with Drax fighting alongside the Guardians of the Galaxy, where his brutal efficiency and single-minded nature set him apart even from his teammates. When the mission ends and everyone goes their separate ways, Drax is left with the same purpose he always had: kill Thanos. Armed with a barely functional ship courtesy of Rocket, he sets off alone, only to crash land on a forgotten world that becomes the center of the story. On this backwater moon, Drax stumbles into a mystery involving missing technology, vanishing people, and kidnapped children forced into hard labor. Along the way, he forms an unlikely bond with the retired cosmic tyrant Terrax, and later an honorable gladiator named Torgo. What initially looks like a simple rescue mission escalates into a gladiatorial nightmare under the control of Fin Fang Foom, whose prisoners are forced to fight and bleed to serve his needs, such as to bathe his eggs in blood so they can, Drax's raw strength and stubborn will eventually break the system, freeing the captives and exposing the truth behind the conflict. The arc reaches its emotional core when it's revealed that the children were mining eggs, Fin Fang Foom's offspring, and that the dragon's cruelty was driven by desperation rather than conquest. Faced with grief instead of evil, Drax makes an unexpected choice: mercy. Terrax, finding purpose beyond destruction, stays behind to keep Foom company, closing the portal between worlds and ending the cycle. The arc concludes with Drax returning to the town, rescuing the children, and preparing for a new journey, transporting all these children home as he continues his endless path toward killing Thanos. Mark, you've been wanting to talk about this one. What are your thoughts here? Issues 1 through 5.
I really liked it. Didn't quite love it, but definitely didn't hate it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's an aspirational tale. I want to stick as close to my notes as I can. It's going to be a mixed bag, because rescuing children from slave labor and taking them home is good and aspirational. It's also the safest possible story. Who's arguing with this? Who's like, Why would you go out and save children and bring them home? Why would you do an Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom?
That is exactly what went into my notes. It's Temple of Doom.
So it's like derivative, but it's deriving good stuff. I can't really argue with it.
It's not horrible. You can just see where the inspiration is.
So Drax is presented as this force of nature. One of the trades is called the greatest detective in the world. And
he's not.
He is helped along by the people around him and by happenstance and coincidence.
Yeah, I think at one point, like, he's investigating stuff that's disappearing, like people are stealing sheet metal or something like that, or in technology, and it's happening right under his nose.
Yeah, like I said, he is a blunt instrument.
Yes,
and stuff is resolving despite him, not because of him. The Drax series is proof that Drax only works well in an ensemble. Because Drax by himself can't get
it ends up being an ensemble.
yeah. He has to. Right. Over the 11 issues, he has to get people around him, because Drax by himself is a dog chasing his tail.
He wouldn't be able to get anything done.
And it's funny because you can definitely see how, like, you said this came out in 2015?
Yes.
The thing that it reminds me of is Infinity War, because it's a clip that shows up a lot on TikTok where they're on, I think it's Titan. Thanos hasn't showed up yet. And Iron Man's like, all right, here's the plan. Here's how we're going to defeat Thanos. We have to get the gauntlet off of him. Here's what's going to happen. And Drax and Mantis are just staring off into deep space. Drax is yawning. And Iron Man's like, the fuck, are you yawning? And he's like, "What's there?" He's like, "Are you yawning while I'm trying to break it down?" He's like, "What's there to break down?" And then man does the funny thing, like we take ass and kick names because he's half a.
Put them on my team, please.
But even Star-Lord said they're not really thinking it through. You point them in a direction and they attack.
Right.
And if you look at everything that Drax does, like the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he's the one that jumps into the maw of the monster and cuts himself out.
Yep.
He does, like, that's what he does. Again, you don't have to gain the intelligence derived from self-preservation when you don't have to self-preserve.
Right.
You are just an indestructible force of nature. Drax really isn't blessed with a lot of forethought and thinking, but he does have feelings, which I thought was interesting. CM Punk is a sensitive soul, and he definitely poured a lot of himself, I think, into Drax, which isn't readily visible, but hear me out. CM Punk is definitely more poet than he is warrior, but he desperately wants to portray himself as more of a warrior and then keeps getting shown that he's not.
Mm-hmm.
What is the thing that everyone remembers most about CM Punk? It's the pipe bomb.
Yep.
Decidedly not a masculine physical moment.
Mm-hmm.
He sat crisscross applesauce and aired his grievances that he was allowed to say out loud.
Mm-hmm.
He wins a fake fight with John Cena that we're all happy he won, but let's admit to ourselves that it was a performance and not a real fight.
Right.
CM Punk is a poet. He's not a warrior. But he desperately wants to be a warrior. That's why he took on the character of mixed martial artist. I see CM Punk saying, here is this big green muscly monster. But what if deep inside he has feelings? He doesn't want to be alone. He's depressed. Psycho killed his family. And he's just like, all I want to do is get revenge. I don't know what to do with my sadness. I don't know what to do with my grief. But I'm indestructible, and I don't have a lot of four-dimensional thinking. What do you do about the depression derived from the sadness and loss of your family? Kill the guy responsible.
Single.
And that's all he thinks about.
Yep.
And when the Guardians leave him, he's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with myself? Well, I guess I'll just go. He even says it that way.
That's sad. That is sad.
Like everyone else is like, I don't want to be a Guardian right now. I have shit to do. And everybody takes off. That bit is funny because it starts with Rocket very much protecting, like Rocket is the wife in that couple where like Groot has fucking had it. And like, I need to go. I am Groot. I need to go. And Rocket's like, I'm going to take Groot away now. Groot needs some time to himself. It's like the wife ushering the husband out of the party because your husband has had one too many beers. He's about ready to hit the host.
Right.
Or fucking do some terrible thing to him in the marble quarry. One of the two. And so it's just like, okay, we're going to go now. You have a lovely home. Thank you. We're going to get out. Just shoving him out the door. That was Rocket. And then everybody else is like, yeah, I don't want to be a Guardian right now. I have other things to do. And then this poor fucking Drax, like, if you're not... if there's no engine pulling my big ass caboose, I don't know where to go or what to do.
Right.
And I only have one thing on my mind, and that's killing Thanos. Other people give him meaning. That's all over this book. Yeah. And I love that CM Punk could have written this anyway, and that's how he chose to do it, which I think is very in line with the Drax character, as we've come to know him. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to interject? I feel like I've been talking for a while.
No, man, I love that take on it. I mean, I love... Going into this, I did wonder, how is CM Punk going to handle this? And I did wonder what parts of his soul were going into Drax, because I feel like, and this is definitely a point I wanted to make, what is Punk, as far as comic books go, before he started writing Drax, what is he known for? He's known for coming out on stage, looking at his watch and going, it's clobbering time.
And it opens up with the thing saying,
yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up because I wanted to and forgot. Talk about putting your stink on something.
I know, dude. Right there, you knew it was probably his dream to just be able to write. All I want to do is write the thing, like saying that at one point. And yeah, we opened the book up with that. So yeah, I did love that. But yeah, I wondered how much of him was going into this. And I didn't read too much into the masculinity part of things here as far as CM Punk goes and Drax is here. But it's very masculine
That's
book.
why I'm here.
Yes. I read your Chat GPT notes. I know.
It is a wonder you don't drink.
I can see Fancy knows exactly where you're going sometimes. I'm looking through some of my notes here. My thoughts on this was it's a pretty breezy read. I did not have any problems here. Did everything move pretty smoothly for issues 1 through 5? Did it drag it all for you?
No, none of the story. I like this story. So the story is basically Drax crashes, and then it's fucking what's his face from the Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon. Like, well, I have to go into town now so that I can get parts for my ship so I can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And while he's in town, he's embroiled in the local politics.
Yep.
And another thing that CM Punk does here and Cullen Bunn is it's classic hero stuff. On the one hand, I complained that Drax is unchanged by the end of this.
I mean, he's still Drax.
Well, he doesn't go on a hero's arc, I mean. He's not changed by this experience. Fin Fang Foom was changed more than Drax was. Terrax the Tiller made me laugh my ass off. Fin Fang Foom in fucking farmer's
overalls. Yeah.
That was missing was the wheat coming out of his mouth. I like crying. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Drax is fundamentally the same as he was at the beginning. Drax is not a bad, immoral person. When faced with a moral decision, he makes the morally right decision. He's just blockhead. So my point is the hero's arc, fish out of water, comes into town, gets embroiled and overwhelmed by the local stuff, is given a mission. 3 amigos, right? The 3 amigos roll into town. The town is being raided by Mexican gang members. El Guapo, right? They face off with El Guapo, and they think, and the bit here in 3 Amigos is they think it's all an act.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're being invited to perform in front of this town because the people think the 3 Amigos are actual vigilantes. They're overwhelmed. They can't fight for real, but they see that if they don't do something, they're going to lose this town. The innocent people are going to get hurt, and they're moral people. So they have to become more than they really are in order to defeat El Guapo and his gang. They use the thing that they know best. They trust the entire town as amigos. El Guapo thinks he's surrounded by 100 amigos. And they're like, never mind, we give up. It's a funny movie. My point is, similar thing here. Drax walks into town and it's like, oh, this is a bigger problem than me just beating the shit out of people. I actually have a real problem here. There are missing children. I was a dad once. I wouldn't want someone to steal my children. I should go get them. It's not complicated. The problem is bigger than he ever anticipated. It's a giant space dragon using him for fucking slave labor. And the reason why they were stealing the sheet metal was to build a portal.
They were all trying to put him on this, these raiders and everything to go up.
And Fin Fang Foom goes through the portal and his eggs die.
Yeah.
And then Fin Fang Foom is like, what is life?
Yeah, Drax goes through the portal along with Terrax, and at that point he's like, let's eat Fin Fang Foom. And they get over there, and Fin Fang Foom is crying.
Yeah, like he's like, I don't want to be alone anymore. What children? He's like a woman. My biological clock is ticking. And what chance I did have is now dead. I don't care what you do to me anymore. Instant depression.
Yeah, he was like, Drax, just kill me me now.
And Drax is like the big dummy. Drax is like the lunkhead from My Cousin Vinny. Are we gonna fight now? Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
like, no, I don't want to fight. I want children. This is all wonderful stuff. Like, for all the complaints that I sent you, I'm talking to you about the really fun stuff that I saw in the book, because this is what made the book different from anything else that I've read. And we talked about this with the Multiple Man book the last time we talked about not every comic has to be super serious or nameless, or it has to be the anarchist cookbook or the communist manifesto.
Right.
You are allowed to have fun with these things. And even a cosmic space dragon can have wants and needs and boundaries. And when things don't work out, feel sad.
Yeah.
Like, why can't it be that way? And that's what, to me, made this interesting and a fun read. Like, when Jonas asked me, he's like, what'd you think of the Drax book? I'm like, it's fine. These were fun reads. Like, I'm not putting it next to Kingdom Come.
Right.
But it's not the worst thing I've ever read either. And I think that's perfectly okay. I'm going to keep going, Jesse.
I agree with what you're saying there. I'd say by the end of issue 5, the decision not to kill Foom was pretty well earned. We could see that. The good thing was I was reading these straight through, but if I had this trade, I would have wanted to see what's going to happen by the end of this. Now Drax is like, okay, shenanigans. Drax is like, okay, I've got to take these kids home. He's got to figure out a way to get these children home, and that's what's going to happen in the next arc.
Yeah.
I'm looking through my notes here to see if I had any big moments that stood out.
I think my complaints were mostly because of who I am. Everything said tracks for me. But there was also a frustration with, does anyone write classic heroes anymore? I can see why CM Punk being who he is, he wrote the story this way. But it also made me long for classic masculine heroes, because this book has none of them in it. Talking to you now, I see a lot of good in the book and a lot of entertainment value. But when I was reading it and talking to Fancy, I had these moments of frustration of, Christ almighty, doesn't anyone rob a bank anymore? Doesn't anyone write masculine heroes? Doesn't anyone write like classic masculine heroics? Why is the namesake of the book and the hero of this thing not more of an active presence instead of just a force of nature? He might as well have been the rain in Florida.
The rain in Florida.
Yes,
it happens all the time.
Comes and goes.
It does. It does. Let's hold on to that, because we're going to talk about a little bit of that here as we get into the second part of this. Okay. I'll just throw out my notes here for issues 1 through 5. I think at the beginning of our opening, when we have that fight with the rest of the Guardians, there's a moment where Drax steps on one of these aliens' heads and pops it, and to the horror and shock of the rest of his team. So I think at that point they were like, man, this dude needs a break. We already talked about Drax being left alone. Drax getting the space sucker. Terrax's introduction at the bar. He's all proud of his axe. Look at my axe. My axe. And that's the big thing that happens in the issue 5 is when they go through the portal, Terrax can't take his axe. It has been stolen at one point, and he finds his axe, and it's part of that portal. And if he removes it, it's going to close the portal down. And he makes a decision at the end to stay with Fin Fang Foom, and as Drax goes through the portal, and he closes the portal behind him because, by gosh, he has to have his axe. I did love Terrax in this.
Terrax was funny.
Yes. It's so funny because most of the stuff that I've seen Terrax the Tamer in, he's all super serious Herald of Galactus. And at this point, you're thinking, and I think issue 1, like the cliffhanger is he turns around, there's Terrax, and it's going to be Drax and Terrax in this big bar fight. And he's like, no, man, let's just have a drink. It's great. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. And Terrax, again, the characterization here, way different from what I'm used to, which is perfectly fine with me. I did like Robot Head, which was just a head of a robot who helped out every once in a while.
He gave good plot exposition. Like, Drax needs someone to tell him which way to go. The talking head worked well to move the plot along. As you're developing a story, if your character has these limitations, you have to create other characters to help your hero along, or the story doesn't progress.
Right.
Unless this is okay. So when people say like Ray is a Mary Sue, this is a Mary Sue, that's a Mary Sue, this one's overpowered, that one's overpowered, it's because the writers don't know how to write a character with limitations. And then they don't know how to create people around. So Indiana Jones, going back to this, Indiana Jones had limitations. Yes, he understood history, he understood religion, he understood archaeology, but he can't just waltz into the Middle East, into Egypt,
right,
and start digging in the ground. He has to depend on Sala. There's a coin he needs atop of the spear for the sunlight to hit it that shows him where the ark is. Guess who has it? The chick whose name I cannot remember. She's got it. It was a gift from her father, a friend of Indiana Jones, so he has to go to Nepal. He has to get it from her, but then he has to face the fact that he walked out on this poor child, and she's mad at him for it. There's Nazis chasing him as an obstacle, but we're talking about just the people around him to help him.
Right.
Indiana Jones does not get from point A to point Z without the help of other people.
By himself.
So even Iron Man, the big help they gave him was a computer in his head. They gave him Jarvis. But he also has Pepper. He has some other characters that... Iron Man 3 is actually a really good example of this. Everyone hates Iron Man 3, but he's got the kid helping him. He's got a couple of other characters in the movie that help him along so that he can get to Guy Pearce at the end and blow up all the suits. The best stories are the ones where we know the hero is fallible and he has to depend on other people to help him. He has to be a decent enough person that people want to help him. If you make him a complete bag of shit or you make him overpowered, why does anyone want to help or need to help?
Right.
And I'll give you one more example of this. If Luke is not only aspirational, but Luke is somebody that little boys can project themselves onto. Who wouldn't want to be the chosen one, to be trained by the old wizard and fight the evil wizard and defeat the evil empire?
Right.
What if Luke was a bag of shit? What if growing up with Uncle Ben and Aunt Beru, and he was like a drug dealer? He's like selling spice.
Right.
In the Mos Eisley's cantina. What if he had gotten into weapon stealing? And like an Obi-Wan shows up, he's like, Luke, you must learn the ways of the Jedi. Yo, fuck your couch. The fuck? Like, why? He doesn't go on the journey is what happens.
No, he does not.
No one likes Star Wars anymore.
Nope.
What if Han was a bag of shit? Midway through the thing, he just sells, we're going to tractor beam your ship into the Empire. And Han walks out, he's like, they're inside. I would like to leave. I was on my way to Jabba the Hutt, you see. I'm done now.
He's done now. My other note here was let's go slay the dragon. I loved that. Like that happens at the end of issue 4 where they are going to go through the portal. It's him and Terrax. And he just looks and they end it. He looks to he's like, all right, let's go slay the dragon. And then we get into issue 5. We already talked about Fin Fang Foom's eggs. But yeah, Drax choosing mercy at this point on Fin Fang Foom. That was good. A nice little character development. And so, yeah, I mean, my main takeaways from this, it was as we get through issues 1 through 5, breezy read, fun read, a lot of humor, a lot of stuff to keep you entertained. I was reminded of Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Ragnarok at one point. There was some stuff that reminded me of those movies. I liked it.
Thanks for joining us. All of this would not be possible without W2Mnet.com, so make sure to seek them out for more podcasts. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please feel free to share, and we look forward to entertaining you again soon.